And welcome to another live stream watch along reaction. Tonight we are watching and reacting to St. Louis City SC 2 versus Bayer Leverkusen, international friendly, club friendly. That's the opening of City Park Stadium in St. Louis, Missouri. Sadly enough, I'm here, but we still get to watch this historical match and cover it on this channel. It's pretty quick, I will say that. But it's nice to see St. Louis open stadium tonight. It's going to be an historical matchup. Another Bayer Leverkusen friendly. If you told me I was going to do two of those this year, I would have called it crazy. But here we are. Truly the last club match before the World Cup on this channel. And 180 minutes before World Cup coverage starts. 2 matches from now, we'll be doing World Cup live stream. So, of course, Canada plays Japan tomorrow morning. We'll be on that as well. Comment ABC says, hello, tell me please, you really know if it's a live stream, watch along. Here are no channels in Russia where it's watch. Search up Buffstream.1. Somebody's in the chat. One of my people. That.
Not again. It was the AirPods. I'm sorry. They connected. Are you kidding me? That'll stop being a thing on Saturday. Don't worry. That'll stop being a thing on Saturday. I can tell you that much. Next season, 2023. This is their stadium opening match. But again, we're here to cover St. Louis City 2, technically St. Louis City SC versus Bayer Leverkusen. Sorry for the AirPods being in Saturday. That won't be a problem anymore if you stay here, if you're still here or not. But I got it. But again, Buffstream.1 is where you can watch the match. But I don't know if commentary will pop up anyway, so I would say keep watching this at least for commentary's sake. But there you go. Rory put Buffstream.1 in the chat. Starts at 7 is the kickoff. 7:05 is what St. Louis said. What up, Elias? But 7 o'clock is kickoff. Will St. Louis City SC be a part of Leagues Cup next year? Yes, they will be. Yes, they will be. There we go. Game went live. It's on ESPN Plus, of course, but I don't think Russia could find the game from there on ESPN Plus. I don't really have to wind it forward. We're good. So it'll stream off Buffstream.1 because I saw that first yesterday, but then it was on ESPN. So I know it's on DAZN in the German, Austrian area. But there we go. Thoughts on Ronaldo's interview? He's right on the money. Simple as he's right on the money. He's in the right. He's on the money. Simple as it is what it is. That's my thoughts. United should honestly apologize to him, but they're not. Thought Mob doesn't have the 11s up for this game, so I did see the St. Louis 11, but I don't have Bayer's 11. Buffstream. Oh, okay. .1, but I guess IO works too. Rory knows. I guess. Don't worry, I'll have to break my back for a stream of the Canadian game tomorrow, so I feel you. But we'll talk about the 11s once they come up because Thought Mob is, I don't know why. Y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Super chats are on. Let's cover this historical match. I got the card ready because I'll run out of pages if I put this in the book. I'm being deliberate because there's enough pages left for like 2 state games, all the NFL playoffs, and this is for the World Cup, and then the new book starts next season, so I'm being deliberate. Oh, and Canada, Japan. Oh. But we're being deliberate. It's on a card. So I can still do the RSR. Yeah, a few days left now for Qatar. Yeah. 2 more matches before we cover a World Cup match. How weird is it? We got this match. Then 12 hours from now, we got Canada, Japan. And then we got no matches until Sunday. And then that match is Qatar, Ecuador, I think, is the match. St. Louis City 2 versus Bayer Leverkusen. Your boy will be at the opener. Nice. Nice. Check in like you did for Canada, Bahrain, at the very least. Check in at least. I like how they're basically just using St. Louis City 2, but it's really just St. Louis City SC at this point for this match. Really? It's going to be like extra minutes to kick off. They said 7:05. Such is life, eh? And it looks like they're using the WGN graphics. Chicago Fire, I should say. Graphics for this. Even though it's on ESPN+. St. Louis City SC 2. First place finish in the Western Conference in MLS Next Pro this season. Second overall. They won the Western Conference and lost to the Columbus Crew in the MLS Next Pro final. 4-1, I think was the score. Second most wins, 15. 49 for second most points in the league. Most road wins for 8. They will have Roman Burke in goal tonight. St. Louis, 3-1-0 this season for STL City 2. 1 goal against average, 8 saves in the season, I guess. That's not average, I guess. 8 saves. Huh. He's going to have to do a lot more work tonight if St. Louis wants to win. I can tell you that much. Because, I mean, Bayer took a pretty good squad as far as I could tell. Roman Burke, yes. Bayer Leverkusen, Xabi Alonso, their head coach. St. Louis, Missouri, City Park. October 5th was when Xabi Alonso was hired. Bayer record before his hiring, 1-5-2. They've won 4, 1-2 since. 1-4, lost 1, drew 2, 3-match league win streak. They're also putting over Moussa Diaby for Bayer. 15 appearances, 6 goals, 3 assists. Best player on the team goal scoring wise by far for Bayer, Moussa Diaby. Bayer did bring a good squad, I have to say. Even with players going to the World Cup, they still brought a pretty good squad. Jonathan Tah. Here's Bayer Leverkusen's 11. Lunev, back four, Bakker, Izzy, Jonathan Tah, Asil. Midfield, Demirbai, Sert Demir, Andrich, front 3. Callum Hudson-Odoi, Adam Hozek, and Bellarabi is the front 3. It's a 4-3-3 for Bayer. Callum Hudson-Odoi starting, which is pretty nice. For St. Louis City, a 4-2-2-2. Roman Burke in goal. Ben DeRosa, Josh Yarrow, Kyle Hebert, Jose Selmier Pedro at the back. Akil Watts, Edward Loven, Celio Pompeu, Isaac Jensen, Thomas Ostrak, and Josh Doling for St. Louis City. Mexico lost 2-1 Sweden today. Yeah, that's a horrible loss. Horrible loss. Just eating Thanksgiving food, watching the World Cup, watching the Egg Bowl. Simple as. Thanksgiving dinner, watching the Egg Bowl, watching the World Cup. Nothing much. He could have, but he went for England, and he's not at the World Cup. John Hackworth coaching St. Louis tonight for St. Louis City 2. Game time, here we go. Yeah. So it was a 7:05 kickoff. Okay. John Hackworth versus Xabi Alonso. This could go horribly. I hope St. Louis does well, of course. I really do. Yeah, I guess I could just have this like this, if need be. Scared for Mexico for the World Cup. I would be too. St. Louis City wearing their white jerseys. So you're telling me St. Louis City just put out their new home kits just to wear their white MLS Next Pro kits? That's an L. That's a straight up L. Because those St. Louis kits they put out today, their home kits for next season, are beautiful. They legitimately could have worn that. No. They weren't kidding when they said St. Louis City 2, didn't they? They weren't kidding, weren't they? They weren't kidding. Bayer in their red, St. Louis. Okay, I can kind of see why, though. I can kind of see why. Bayer's wearing red. St. Louis has a pinkish red. I can kind of see why, but come on now. When you have a pinkish red kit versus a white kit and you're at home, stupid. That's stupid. I don't know. Oh, it may. It may. Interesting. Poland fans are just scared as Mexico fans because Poland's kind of playing like Mexico right now. Situation is what it is. I can see it too, but come on. Here we go. St. Louis to kick off. On football terms, I hope Qatar have a respectable tournament. They have a Somali guys, their best player, Akram Afif. I mean, it would be nice to see Qatar actually have a respectable tournament, but we all know they're going to suck, and the only reason it may be respectable is the refs are going to help them. We all know this. And here we go. St. Louis is kicked off. As we said, St. Louis in the white, Bayer in the red. Here we go. Could it be an early score? Could it be an early onslaught for Bayer, or will we see a tight match? Bayer already playing forward, holding the possession for these first 20 seconds. Plays it forward. Bayer, nice. Nope. It will be cleared by St. Louis. Here's the chance for St. Louis. Ostrak. Plays back. Thoughts on St. Louis's home kits? As I said, the new home kit for the main team is beautiful. It's fire. I love it. I love the reddish pink. I love the colors on the kit. They used all of them, the yellow, the blue. I like it. I like it. It's a good first home kit. Like, they actually blew it out of the water. Like, people, they try to go, a lot of the expansion teams have tried to go safe with their first home kits. St. Louis wanted to knock it out of the park, and they did. Like Atlanta, they went easy, but it was good. Charlotte, they went pretty safe. Here's a chance for St. Louis. Shot, cross, but God, that's a corner. They want a corner, but it looked like it's a goal kick. I thought it was a corner. But for me, the St. Louis kits, they're nice. I don't think, and I will agree, I don't think their color scheme like lends itself to like being careful either when it comes to design. So it didn't really lend itself, but they did well with the situation. Even then, they would have found. I think if they tried to do careful when designing their first home kit, it would have sucked. I think they had to knock it out of the park, and they did. Two minutes in. I'd say it's a 10 out of 10, frankly. It might just be the best kit of the next season, frankly. If I did kit rankings, St. Louis's new home kit would definitely be in the top 3, but I could see it being number 1, depending on what happens. Depending on what we get of the new kits. Yeah, I'll probably do a kit ranking next year. Probably. St. Louis's jersey is a better version of FSL. You mean RSL? Playing forward. Here's St. Louis. 3 minutes in. They're holding possession a bit. Plays over the top. Onside. Nope. Offside. That'll be a free kick for Bayer. Kind of felt like that was the case. But, but the thing about RSL is like their red is more like maroon. St. Louis's red is more of a pinkish red. It's more of a salmon, so to speak. Oh, I saw what okay, now I see what you were doing there. Elbow cough, says Leonardo. Are you going to show the game? No, it's called a watch-along reaction. If I show it, I get a copyright strike. But the game's on ESPN+. You can find it on buffstream.one. You do have commentary if you get it on ESPN+, but Buffstream, I'm not so sure, so you at least can keep it here. But Bayer's actually not struggling, but this is a lot closer than I expected after the first couple of minutes. St. Louis is working pretty good. As I said, ESPN+, legally, third party, Buffstream.1 or He's Goal will probably have it. Those two you may not have commentary, but there's a couple of ways. But when I found out this game was on ESPN Plus, that's how I'm watching it. Player down for Bayer, Leverkusen. They only brought a 17-man squad, so this could get a bit hairy. If this is a true injury, this could get a bit hairy. Ooh, I think that's just a knock, but we'll see. How many Qatar fans are going to be at the games? If half the stadium are Qatar fans, they'll probably lose all the games by 3 goals. If Qatar fans fill more than 3-4 for the stadium, it might help. I mean, Qatar is going to lose anyway. So it is what it is. Apple TV MLS, not worth it. I mean, I think it's worth it still. I mean, if you add together ESPN Plus, that's about $70 a year, $90 a year. It's not that much different. So, I mean, I think it's worth it. Free kick here. Yes. Yes, Tigres will smash Orlando. It's on Buffstream.1. You can find the game on there. St. Louis playing forward. BUFFSTREAM.ONE. Not hard. So I got it. And then go to the schedule and they'll be there. Top plays it back. Here comes St. Louis. There's a chance. Cross. Nope, that's out for a goal kick. Nah, I think the only thing that'll stop Qatar from getting destroyed is the refs back them. Like the refs heavily back them, and even then they're not going to win games. Still 0-0 with 6 minutes. I got Sprite Cranberry yesterday. Haven't had it since 2020. Good for you. Good for you. 7th minute. 7 minutes in. I wonder what Tata and Triple G were smoking when they made their roster decisions. 14 grams of crack. Or so I heard. Bayer going forward. Yes. Well, the second team and the new MLS team, but there's some MLS players playing on this squad at this point. So most of these players will be on the roster, I would guess. I don't think they're going to leave St. Louis. Doling trying to press here. 7-8 minutes in. What's my reaction to NYCFC finally getting a stadium? At least there's finally a plan that they're going to build the stadium, but it's still going to take, 5 years to get it? At least it's after the 2026 World Cup, 2027. It's not bad. I like the model of the stadium. It's long overdue. It sucks that it's going to take another 5 years just to get it built, but knowing the city of New York, not surprising, so to speak. But maybe it's good timing anyway. But I think it'll be a good stadium. So, finally, 9th minute. ESPN Plus in the USA, DAZN in the German, Austrian area. And, of course, as I said, Buffstream anywhere else. Over the bar by Bayer. 9th minute. Put over the bar by Bellarabi. Good pass forward, but offside anyway, but still put over the bar by Bellarabi. First best chance for Bayer so far, I would say. Here comes St. Louis. MLS free agency open today as well. Yes. Yes, it did. Here comes St. Louis. Here's a chance. Olstrak. And that's given away. It's given away. Out for a throw-in for Bayer. That'll be the end of the New York Red Bulls when our stadium opens. Yeah, sounds about right, but 9:41. 10 minutes into this match. St. Louis not doing too bad so far. Not doing too bad so far. Throw in. Ooh, throw in for St. Louis. Yes. Jensen got fouled. Flopsico says Jesus. I mean, losing to Sweden. Yeah, that does seem like a flop to me. 11th minute. But here's a chance here. Cross in. Still St. Louis. Still. Plays it back. Cross in. Claudio Bravo and Felipe Mora both signed long-term extensions, locking up 2 big core players to the Timbers. Nice. Good to see it. And Felipe Mora is not a fake striker. If I'm perfectly honest, when NYCFC get their home stadium, they might pick up fans in New York that don't support an MLS team yet. I definitely could see that happening. Played forward. Mora will bounce back from his injury. I agree. Yarrow plays it back. Roman Burke gets pressed, but gets it cleared all the way back into the offensive zone, and it does go to St. Louis. They win the second ball. Plays it back. Still, Ostrak. Here's a chance. Ostrak can't run onto it. That'll be cleared by Bayer Leverkusen. So far, St. Louis might just slightly be the better team. From what I've seen, 12 minutes in, St. Louis slightly is better. Slightly better, which ain't this. You know, Bayer Leverkusen could have definitely used the excuse of altitude against Toluca, but if you lose to St. Louis City too, hell, half the big players on this team ain't even here yet. Half of them are, half of them aren't. And you lose to St. Louis for a team that arguably is being revitalized by, or is said to be revitalized by Xabi Alonso. I'm sorry. You're trash. Simple as. Like, losing to Toluca is one thing. There's still a top flight Mexican team who ended up making the final of the next tournament after that game. Over time, it doesn't look so bad. And you already had the built-in excuse of altitude. Here, St. Louis, slightly better than you. 2 shots against your 0. You're losing to a team who, yes, they did make the MLS Next Pro final. You do have Roman Burke in goal. If he stands on his head, it could go wrong, and that may be the excuse, but he hasn't really had to do much at this point. Yes, Olstrak is a good player. Olstrak's a good player. Doling's a good player. They have good players. But in the overall sense of the word, and I've been watching St. Louis, I think they have good players. But in the overall sense of the situation, you don't have the re-entry draft players you got. You don't have Tim Parker, the trade. You don't have Nico Giacchini. You don't have your 4 players you kept, and you don't have Tim Parker. So, you look at it right now. You look at it, St. Louis is half power. pretty much 50% power. Probably full power St. Louis City too, but not full power St. Louis, right? And Bayer's sort of getting worked by St. Louis so far. Interesting. 14th minute. That looks bad. And now you're saying, and by the way, two different coaches, because they had a different coach when the Toluca loss happened. They have Xabi Alonso now, who arguably has been said he's revitalizing their squad, which the record does agree with that. Maybe Bayer's not putting their whole heart into this game. I don't know. But good things for St. Louis if this keeps going. 15th minute, 0-0. Jensen couldn't get the ball, goes out for a throw. All I'm saying is it's very interesting that St. Louis is doing this good. Like, they are impressing me. Like, I've seen them play. All year. I never thought they were this good to stymie Bayer Leverkusen. Over the bar, that'll be a goal kick for Burke. Yeah, the re-entry draft opens up tomorrow, yes. Rebuild after Qatar, Flopsico. Does anyone play God of War Ragnarok? No, I don't. It's pretty hard to explain, but if a player declined a player was declined their option to stay at the club, a club can draft the player in the window of time. If they don't, they go to stage 2 of the re-entry draft, and they could also be claimed in that window as well. So basically, to be a true free agent in MLS, you have to get through the re-entry draft. 2 stages of it. Teams can claim your rights and have the first right of refusal to sign you. Normally they do if they draft you. They normally do. Look at Nick DeLeon when TFC got him. When they draft you in the re-entry draft, they normally sign that player, but they have the first right of refusal to sign that player for the next season. To be a full free agent in MLS, you have to have 7 years of service. You have something like that. It's an inordinate amount compared to other sports. You have to stay undrafted through 2 rounds of the re-entry draft, which most teams don't use. Most teams pass. That's the little caveat. That's a yellow card for Pedro. Yellow card for Samir Pedro in the 17th minute. Showing love to Bellarabi after that. So basically, let me see that. Oh, come on. That's soft. Pulls his jersey and they give that a yellow card. What ref is this? What jackass ref? Samir Pedro. That's not a yellow. It's soft. That's never a yellow. Pulling a sleeve, it's never a yellow. Come on. I know it's a friendly, but you don't got to take that literally. Want a Sprite cranberry? I haven't tried one, but I'd like to. I know it's a reference to the commercial, but I'm just saying. Here's a chance shot saved by Roman Burke. That'll be a goal kick for Burke. I do think Sweden goals were flukes, but that's what Mexico gets. They deserved it. What is the score? 0-0 between both teams. 0-0. 3 shots to 1. Interesting. It's on ESPN Plus in America. This game is on DAZN in the Germany-Austria region. And if you can't find it in your region, it's called buffstream.1. That should have your back. 19th minute. Should have your back. That's all I'm saying. I'll put that on my list. I cried as hard as I can. Tears of joy today. I've been attending NYCFC matches since 2015. We suffered at Toronto and Red Bulls quite a few times. Thanks for the ass kicking and learning. That's what sports is sometimes. Sometimes. 19th minute. Here come Bayer Leverkusen. I still think St. Louis is playing the better team, frankly. Just because Bayer's had more passes, frankly, they have. St. Louis has had more shots. They've played better. That's a good block defensively. Great block. But that goes back to Bayer. Good slide tackle, but still on the side of Bayer. Callum Hudson-Odoi. I mean, I want St. Louis to win, so I don't want to see Cho score, but it would be awesome if he did because he's a Chelsea player or a Chelsea loanee. It would be nice, but it's 0-0. That's like the first time Callum Hudson-Odoi's done anything in this match, though, frankly. It's the first time. Nice. For example, Sayad Haji, who was at the San Jose Earthquakes, was put on re-entry draft. What does that mean for him? How likely would he join a club? I don't think it's very likely for him to be drafted by a club in one of the 2 windows of the re-entry draft. I'm sure as a full free agent, somebody would sign him. But he's not at that level to be like, is he worth it to be picked? Like Nick DeLeon, when he got picked by Toronto, had a good career with DC United. MLS veteran. Siad, not bad, not great. I'm not sure somebody would use a pick on him. I'm sure he'll be signed by somebody, but it's probably easier to sign somebody who will be a somewhat minimum player on your balance sheet. I don't think it's going to be a lot of money to sign him. So if it were me, if it were TFC, I don't want it to be TFC. God knows we'll do something stupid, but or something that doesn't make any sense. But, you know, I don't think it's very likely. Again, a lot of teams pass both rounds. A lot of teams pass. And it's just a single round, I think, per step. So, it's either 1 or 2. I don't think it's anything more than that. Buffstream.1, BUFFSTREAM.ONE. Super draft picks never pan out. They never do. Unless you're Toronto. But 90% of the time, they never pan out. 78% pass accuracy to 87. Yeah, I knew that name was familiar, but I was like, oh, yeah, super draft. You're right. Again, they don't pan out. Yeah, I'll probably go to full free agency, I guess. Somebody will do. Somebody will sign him. Or he'll go to USL. But he'll play next year. Somewhere in the USA. 22nd minute, 0-0. Nice. Being a super draft pick is not all it's cracked up to be. Normally, nothing ever happens with them. Most teams, they whiff. Most teams, I mean, yeah, there are good players. They come through the draft. Josh Mayer of Nashville, or Jack Mayer. Not Josh is Jack Mayer of Nashville. My bad. I think he does have a brother named Josh. I think he plays for Indiana right now, yeah. I think I'm right. Takes a shot over the bar, Bayer. And that was Callum Hudson-Odoi puts it over the bar. It's probably unlikely through the draft. It's been like 4 years since we've taken our tree down. So technically, yes. And we don't really use lights on the house or tinsel or whatever. So pretty much, yes. It's not my fault the tree's still up. I can tell you that right now. It's not my fault. 24th minute. That's a header over the bar by Bayer. They're starting to knock on the door. Hell, we don't even put new lights on the tree. It's just those white lights that came on the artificial tree. We don't have to do nothing. Barely anything. I don't know what it is. If Red Bull didn't buy the Metro Stars, whatever name, the owner would name the team, would have way more fans than Red Bull right now. I agree with that. Farewell match will most likely be against Portland or New York Red Bulls at Yankee Stadium. That would be a good match. 24th minute. Hope he does get picked up. It's unlikely. The last game at New York Yankee Stadium. Red Bulls have 5 years to win something. They won't. As I said, it's been like 5 years in the living room. It's never been taken down. It never gets taken down. It's like, oh, we'll take it down this year. No, it never gets taken down. I'm not Mick Foley. It's not my fault. It just never gets taken down. 25th minute. Leuven. It's funny at this point. Ostrak puts it over the bar. What a banger. It's actually funny at this point. Damn, Ostrak lined that one up. I thought he... All right. '25th minute. Still 0-0, but Ostrak lined that one up. Spend money on. Red Bulls ain't doing that either. Come on now. You know they ain't spending money. Here's a chance for Bayer Leverkusen. Plays it back. Shot! Oh, past the post. That'll be a corner kick. Nice. Here's a corner for Bayer. Leverkusen. Plays back. Cross in. Takes a shot. Knee up. Nothing there. Shot. Goal! Oh, offside. Ooh. Hudson-Odoi had something to do with it. Spend money now, Dennis Hamlet, the Red Bull front office. They're not going. Yeah, I know it's offside. I just realized when Burke went down to put it down. You can't. The way this telecast is happening, you can't see the flag. You can't see it at all. Like, I'm glad they have this dress rehearsal, I guess, but here's the problem. Apple TV will probably be a bit different anyway. So. Like, if you can't even see the flag. 26th minute. Ain't that something? I'm glad it's a no-goal. Oh, now they've started to pull ahead on shots. Oof. Okay, so Ostrak wasn't a shot on goal? But yes. Watch Thanksgiving clapback videos on TikTok and YouTube. They're funny. I know about Thanksgiving clapbacks. You see those like Vine compilations of Thanksgiving clapbacks? Those were like the OGs. I still go back to watch those. Those are hilarious. I think they've gotten less funny as time gone on, though. Like, I remember the Vine OG Thanksgiving clapbacks. They've gotten less funny as time goes on. 28th minute. You got to admit. Like, watch a 2016 Vine compilation. Here comes Bayer Leverkusen. I think Toronto has more ass whoopings for NYCFC. I don't think we're going to get good enough. Pedro crosses it. That'll stay for Bayer. Once we get good again, yes, but we're not good. Well, no, we did still beat them this year with the youth players at home, and we almost beat them on the road. Okay, no, maybe we do, even if we're shit. For some reason. We'll find out. Well, go watch the Vine compilations from like the mid-2015s or the mid-2010s. Like 2015, 16. Those are amazing. I'm sure they're still there. I mean, hell, all the other Vine compilations are still there. 29th minute, 0-0. Again, I like the new stadium NYC is going to build. It looks beautiful from the models, the digital models they've made. It looks great. I think it'll be a great stadium. The fact it's going to take 5 years, I'm not completely shocked. It's the city of New York, but that's still, I've seen other stadiums build quicker, you know. I've seen other stadiums built quicker. Busch Stadium only took, that's out for a corner for Bayern in the 29th minute. So we'll see. Normally stadiums take about, what, 2 years? Now, I guess the planning period is probably put into that, but it's also just New York City being New York City, probably. But at least you're getting a stadium. Now, it's actually a goal kick. Interesting. St. Louis. They were better for the first, 25 minutes, but now I think Bayer's taking their power and realizing that they should be the better team. But again, didn't that kind of happen in the Toluca match, if my mind serves me correctly? Didn't, Bayer Leverkusen show, they didn't really care, then they kind of started caring, and then they crapped it away? Didn't that kind of happen in the last one? Sell the club, Red Bull. They probably will now that Mashetic, I know I said that wrong, is dead. Because that was his pet project, was the Red Bull football clubs. They'll probably get sold at some point. That's just my guess. Yes, I did. The UC Health. I actually like it. It's a clean sponsor. I like it. It's weird to see a Rapids jersey with a sponsor because it's been a while, but it's clean. If they had to use a sponsor, it's a clean sponsor. I like it. Like the way it looks on the jersey. I don't know how clean the company is, but I really don't care. The sponsor on the jersey, the look of it is clean, especially on the home kit. Haven't seen it on the away kit yet. Oh, wait, no. You can't do that because the away kit, there'll be a new one. Yeah, true. I think. The new home kit, yeah, it was a new home kit this year, yeah, because 3 stripes were on Thanksgiving in 2021. Yep. I was like, am I right? Yeah. So we'll see what it looks like on the away kit, but the home kit, I like it. Fun fact about the host Qatar, 2 million people live there, but only 330K of them are actually Qatari. So it is fitting that the Qatari national team is full of Brazilian expats. So it's fitting. It's fitting that the national team's full of expats. Huh. Interesting. Well, it's not just Brazilian expats, but other countries as well. But you get the gist of what I'm saying. UC Health is local and good, clean on jersey too. Might have to buy a Rubio one. Rubio? What about Ralph Priso? What about Ralph Priso? Come on. We handed him to you for that shit Mark Anthony K. Least you could do is buy a Priso jersey. That was the worst trade ever. Here's a chance. Shot! Save! Red Bulls are closing a deal on Corey Burke. So we shit on Red Bulls for not spending, but now we're going to now they're going to trade for Corey Burke. I need to shit on Red Bulls more. Well, that's interesting. That's actually a good deal. They need a striker. That's actually a good deal. Smart. I guess all I got to do is shit on Red Bulls. They'll do stuff. I don't know if I want to do that. There you go. Priso will be it when Fraser actually gives him meaningful minutes. Well, he should. He was always better than Mark Anthony K. He was Mark Anthony K Mark II, pretty much. And we traded him for the old one. And he's horrible now. What are we doing? Goaling for St. Louis, and that's a horrible pass. Allstrat can't get to it. But point is Priso should be playing just as much as Mark was over there. Oh boy, we're going to regret that one, aren't we? We already have, but just wait. Just wait. Lol. I legitimately don't want to see Mark Anthony Kaye ever play again. Well, I know that's out of the realm of possibility. Just realize, over the next year, I'm going to have to watch Mark Anthony Kaye play 50 matches if everything goes right. And I have to root for him every single time. Oh boy. He better be better. Because if we're in for another season of 50 games of him just being crap for Canada and TFC, oh boy. Oh boy. 35th minute. That was a quick count. Because you got 2 Canada matches in March. You got 2 Canada matches in June. Guess they'll probably go to the Nations League finals. You got the Gold Cup. He may not go to the Gold Cup. Oh, wait, there'll be some TFC matches during the Gold Cup, so it's not 50, whether he goes or not. What's the score? 0-0 still. 0-0, 35th minute. Willits Point is a dump yard right now with auto body car shops everywhere. In addition to the stadium, they're building a large affordable housing apartment complex, a mall, and a hotel. That's nice. That's nice. Priso should get more playing time because players get trusted by Fraser and take bigger leaps in year 2 under Fraser. Okay. Takes a shot. Here's a chance. Shot. Goal. Callum Hudson-Odoi puts in the open net goal. It's 1-0. Bayer Leverkusen. Callum Hudson-Odoi in the 36th minute rolls it in. A car crash in front of the net. The net was open and Callum Hudson-Odoi makes St. Louis pay. Callum Hudson-Odoi opens the scoring, which I'm not completely mad about because he's a Chelsea product. There you go. Rolls it into the net, Callum Hudson-Odoi. You know, I won't complain about it. 36th minute. Good for them. 1-0 Bayer, Hudson-Odoi. I mean, it's good for the Angels. At least they had a 2-year starter now. Still ain't going to do nothing. 36th minute for Hudson-Odoi. 0-1 Bayer Leverkusen. 10 minutes to go into the half. I mean, St. Louis were fine, but it was a car crash in front of the net. Ball falls to Callum. He pops it in. I mean, you can't really get mad at that one. You kind of can, but you can't. Yellow card. Jeez, this ref is pulling out cards like he's playing poker. Oof. Oof, Madon. Like, seriously, come on. Stop pulling cards. This isn't kindergarten. This isn't first grade. This ain't a poker table. Stop pulling cards. It's a friendly. Joshua Izzy of Bayer gets the yellow card in the 38th minute. That's a free kick for St. Louis, though. See what happens. Free kick for St. Louis. Only thing I want is a proper bus station being built next to the stadium. Downtown Flushing for buses is terrible. I would defer to you there. Leuven to take the free kick for St. Louis. Can he equalize? Edouard Leuven to equalize. Standing over it. Takes the shot! Punched over the bar. That'll be out for a goal kick. That was close. Leuven made it close, but not enough. Boom. Oh. Off the bar. Didn't get a hand to it. Cole Bassett could be coming back next year since he didn't meet the minutes threshold at his current team. I still think Priso's better. Good, but Priso's better. I've always been beaten on the drum of Ralph Priso is a damn good midfielder, and he should be starting already in MLS. So, he's better. Is Roman Burke starting in goal? Yes. Did we soccer? I mean, Bayer's lead. Did we score? No, Bayer is leading. Well, it depends on who you're supporting. If you're supporting Bayer, yes, they scored. If you're supporting St. Louis, no. It's 1-0 Bayer Leverkusen. And yes, Roman Burke is starting in goal for St. Louis. Callum Hudson-Odoi got the assist from Adam Hložek. The 36th minute. Now they put it up. Plays over the top on a free kick. Plays down, shot past the post. That'll be a goal kick. Mid-January. I think it was what? January. When's that Coachella Valley preseason thing starting? Because I know Toronto's part of it, and Vancouver, and Portland. It's like what? July or January 26th or something? It's after my birthday by a couple of days, if not 1 or 2. That should be, if you're going to call fouls, that should have been a foul. Oh my God, this referee sucks. You hate to see it. Prizo is better. I'm saying it now. Starter at depth. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, it does help for depth. I mean, if you have Ralph Prizo and Cole Bassett on the same team, one is a starter, one is depth, it does help. I have to agree. I think Ralph should be the starter, but agreed, it does help either way. Fair enough. 41st minute. I think a lot of our teams, St. Louis is at the Coachella Valley preseason thing with Toronto and Portland, and I think Vancouver. 29th to February 18th. January 29th, February 18th. Okay. So that's 9 days. Okay. I knew it was less than 10. I knew it had 2 in front of it. Somewhere in those 20th. So right at the end of the end of January, but I'm sure they'll be training in the middle of January around my birthday. Preseason training starts like mid-January. Okay, so they'll be training and then they go to the tournament. Yeah, that makes sense. I hope they air those matches. Why not? I hope they air those matches, at least so I could do a couple of preseason RSRs. I mean, that sounds like it's going to be a cool thing, you know? They should. They probably will, right? I mean, St. Louis versus Toronto sounds like a good game. Portland sounds like a good game. Only because a lot of our teams are in that tournament. Isn't like Colorado in that tournament too? Yes, it's sold out. Quick. Here comes Bayer, 43rd minute, over the bar. It's sold out quick. Yes, I remember the tea drinking celebration. Was it discriminatory? No, people are crying. People were just crying because my feelings are hurt. Like most times, people are pissed off nowadays. Thin skin. And I'm not even a U.S. women's national team fan. And I don't think Alex Morgan really did anything wrong there. You drink tea. Everybody knows it. Shot, goal. That's a goal for Bayer Leverkusen as well. 2-0. Here they come. I mean, hell, going a half without allowing a goal was almost a half was pretty good. That's 2-0. Played forward. Callum plays it through. An assist for Callum Hudson-Odoi, number 23, on the roster, on the shirt. I think that was Adam Hložek. Or Adam. Hlozek, yes. Wolshek, yeah. It was Adam Hlozek. So he assisted Callum, and now he's got a goal assisted from Callum Hudson-Odoi. Adam Hlozek. 44th minute. LA teams are also there, I think. 2-0. Yep, 2-0. Yep. Bayer Adam Hlozek, assisted by Callum Hudson-Odoi. LA Galaxy, New York, TFC, Charlotte, DC, Portland, LAFC, Minnesota, Vancouver, Red Bull. 1 minute of stoppage time. San Jose and St. Louis will be there for Coachella Valley Invitation. Okay. I mean, Gio Reyna's probably talented enough for the U.S. He could have played on any other team, though. But he chose to play USA. Oh. Nice. That sounds fun. Honestly, do it. If they score a goal and they're winning, don't do it when you're tied up or you're behind and you score a goal. If you're winning, though, if that's like the winning goal or the leading goal, yeah, do it. Why not? Why not? Why not? Now, don't be stupid with it, but, 46th minute. Bayer playing forward. 0-0 Peru. Paraguay. And it's halftime. Halftime between St. Louis City 2 and Bayer Leverkusen. 2-0 Bayer. 0-2 for Bayer Leverkusen. Took them 36 minutes to score a goal, but they've scored 2 goals since then. They've really taken over since about the 25th minute. But St. Louis has had their moments. Search up Buffstream.one, BUFFSTREAM.ONE. Go to the schedule. This game's on there. Go to football matches. It's on there. Respect the Mets now. Lovely. With that being said, it's halftime. 2-0. Bayer Leverkusen beating St. Louis. Not too bad of a first half. Still not great. Not too bad either, though. No problem. No problem. If you don't have commentary with it, though, stick here for the commentary. Well, true. England would have actually been good. They would have actually been good. I'd be shocked. I'm going to say this. I love how Morocco fans are swarming Canada's Instagram with comments are clowning on Canada, but they don't realize that their chances of getting out of the group are just as low as Canada's. I'd say Canada's are just slightly better. But with that being said, it's halftime. Take a short break at the half. 2-0 Bayer Leverkusen. We'll talk about the stats. And we'll talk about how the half went. And then we'll get to the second half. And we'll review the game when it's over. Should be fun. With that being said, sit tight. I'll be back. And we'll talk about the stats. Sit tight. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button while we're at it. Corey Burke on the way to Red Bulls. They're actually, yeah, I'm surprised. Here we go. Stats at the half. Here we go. 339.6, 40% possession to 60% possession. 4 shots to 11. 1 shot on goal to 3. 214 passes to 323. 83.2% pass accuracy to 88. 1 corner to 1. 2 offside to 4. 1 save to 1. 3 clearances to 0. 5 fouls to 3. 1 yellow card on either side. 0 red cards to 0. And it's 2-0 Leverkusen at the half. Not too bad for St. Louis, but not great either. About the first 25 minutes, St. Louis was actually the better team for about the first 25 minutes. But then Leverkusen definitely showed their power and showed their level over the second half of the first half. Let's put it like that. They definitely showed their power and level after the 25th minute. They definitely grew into the game, scored 2 goals, 36th minute, 44th minute. They definitely grew into the game. They got better. I don't think anything really changes in the second half, but we could see it. The problem with it is I don't think the media reaction will be as hardcore angry as the Women's World Cup reaction was. I think it'll be like fair banter. It is what it is. Honestly, I think people will laugh about it if it happens on the men's side. You know, double standards and all. I don't think the anger would be the same as when Alex Morgan did it. Besides, it's also the situation of where the teams are. England and U.S. are very similar. England sucks. They have a crap manager. U.S., they'd be better if they didn't have a crap manager, but that team can actually carry them to wins. So you'll be like, okay, yeah, the U.S. got one over on us. Fair play. They bantered about it. There you go. Not like it's the bully U.S. women's national team against a plucky upstart English team who ended up winning the Women's Euros, 3 years later? Type thing. It's also the perception, probably. It does it for that each side of things. There's a lot of factors that probably if the men did it, the teacup celebration Alex Morgan did, it would go down a lot easier. There's a couple of them. Definitely. But even now they're starting to realize they know they suck, or at least their manager does. They went from overhyping themselves to just crashing down ever so bad. So, interesting, but again, we have another 45 minutes for this match. Then we'll review it. It'll be up. Let's see what comments I missed, by the way. Yeah, okay, here we go. Zardes wasn't in our promo for the New Jersey sponsor, nor behind the scenes. His backup, Darren Yapi, was the featured striker instead. That's got to be something. Santi Moreno and Juan Mosquera could be playing on Saturday for Colombia. That would be nice to see. Just watch in between. Yep, we already covered that. I guess they are serious. I'm surprised, to tell you the truth, that they're serious. But it's just funny how we were crapping on them for not giving a crap, and then they pull that move out of their ass. Not that they were listening. It's just hilarious that it ended up going that way, right? It's just hilarious. Imagine if a team did a twerking celebration at the World Cup. I mean, it wouldn't be too shocking. Pulisic scores the winning goal at minute 89 against England, and he pulls up his jersey to reveal a T-shirt that says it's called soccer. You see, now we were talking about, scroll up a bit, we were talking about the U.S. doing the teacup celebration again the drinking tea celebration again. But that works too. I think they'd actually, the pundits for England and the men's side would actually find the shirt more offensive than the teacup celebration. Just a guess. Who's winning? Bayer Leverkusen's winning 2-0. Which, it's not as bad as you could have expected if it went completely off the rails. Another 45 minutes here. Against Bayer Leverkusen. Second half just about to start. See if St. Louis could come back. Here we go. Yes, I did. And I might just, I think I'll put a link to the bracket challenge. There's going to be another sub, good couple of subs, or at least one sub for Bayer, but I'll definitely, I already filled it out presumptively, but I think I still have time to finalize projections. I might just tinker with it, but before I make my predictions on the 19th, I'll tinker with it tomorrow, and then the video comes out. This will be the World Cup book, and I'll put everything, like results, all stuff like that in here, and then just should be somewhat full. Not completely, but better than a... I think it's just better. I could do the same thing I was going to do in a binder with this, but a lot more notes. Let's put a World Cup logo on the front. There you go. Free Apple TVs on the line. That would be nice. I'd be happy with it. Joel Klaus is on for St. Louis in the second half. Here we go. Second half's kicked off. There's freaking MLS store gift cards. There's a lot on the line. It's actually pretty cool. Joel Klaus is on for Josh Doling for St. Louis. Probably. I would guess so. Just in English. Bayer Leverkusen holding on to possession in the first half. 31. Now that is a sub for Bayer. Why are they not saying who it is? Amiri for Demiarbe was a sub for Bayer. Moussa Diaby is on for Kareem Bellarabi. Yep. So he did make like 3 subs. 46 minute. So they are going with the 5 subs. Diaby for Bellarabi, yes. Amiri is on as well 47th minute. They also made another sub. Somebody with no name on their jersey. So it must have been a youth player. Plays it back. The purple. You should buy the purple one. You should buy the purple one. You should buy the purple one. Plays back. St. Louis going forward. Pompeu. Cyril Pompeu going forward. Plays back. They ain't even put it there. 48th minute. The world has gone nuts if that happens. And it's very sad what's going on in Iran. It's very, very sad. Power to the people. All I have to say. Power to the people. I mean, I'd love the chaos. I would love the chaos of Canada and US and Mexico, and somehow Costa Rica tops their group. I'd love the chaos. It'd be beautiful. It'd be beautiful. Here comes Bayer. Bayer Leverkusen. Moname for Ezzy was the sub. Moname defender for Ezzy. And Lom, that a new goalkeeper. Lunev is off for Lom. Yes. So they made 4 subs. Bayer did. And this freaking, whoever's making this coverage of the game is absolutely horrible with saying about subs. So Bayer only has 1 sub left. I'll be having the game. After this game, I'll be having Carl's Jr., a.k.a. Hardy's. That sounds nice. No problem. I see Tata's got to get screwed up when we watch against Sweden and never survive the group of death against Saudi Arabia, Poland, and Argentina. 50th minute. I can't wait to hear the England players saying God save the Queen instead of God save the King. I really need to make, I'm sure there's some sort of prop bet on that. Probably make bank. Like, how many England players say God save the Queen instead of God save the King? You can make bank on that. It's still too fresh. That would be a legitimately great prop bet to take. It's just too fresh. And all these players, all they know is a queen, except for the past 2 months. Here's a chance. Bayer shot. Goal. Goal for Bayer Leverkusen. 3-0. Adam Hosek scores the second. It's 3-0. Ball falls to Lotzek. Lotzek played back and just rolls it in. That's 3-0. Lotzek. I don't know why the hell they were called up. Like, you called Jordan Morris over Pfalk. That was horrible from Burke. Yeah, that was a bad play. That one's on him. You could have easily got nutmegged pretty much by Lotzek. I mean, it went off his foot. That's just that's just a Lotzek goal, yes. Bad. 51st minute, second. Yeah, they don't even have an assist. It went off of Burke's feet. 3-0. Why are Bayer in USA? Because they got called over to go, And I guess they have to do some mini preseason with like 6 weeks off between the World Cup and all that. And St. Louis wanted to have them to open the stadium. They've already went to Mexico. They have connections to USA because of Bayer, the drugs, the heart drugs. It's also a big thing over here. Bayer instead of Bayer. It's Bayer. It's, you know what I'm saying. But you have like the heart drugs, like the, you know what it is. So it's a big thing. They're a big company in the U.S. as well. Pharmaceutical company in the U.S. as well and in North America. So, of course, they have to connect to that. And it's just an obvious situation. They already did Mexico, of course, with Toluca earlier in the year, which also covered that. And St. Louis is a big hub for Bayer as well, the way the Americans say it, the company. So, of course, pretty obvious to open the stadium against Bayer Leverkusen. When I'm talking about the company, I say Bayer. When I'm talking about the club, Bayer. The way you should say it in German. I know it's confusing. It's confusing. I'm even confusing myself. So, here comes St. Louis. Joe Klaus plays it back. Pompeu, cross in. Bayer is Leverkusen is best, says Demir. Hello, how you doing? I know that other players have been given time off, like Nketiah's on holiday in Ghana. He's English, though. He plays for England, right? I mean, some players may want to take the time off. I'm sure they'll be closer to when it actually comes to going to second preseason, pretty much. Pretty early friendly, to be honest. I'm sure like December's when other teams are going to get back to basically having a mini preseason. Hosek almost could have had a hat trick there. Luckily, good defending from St. Louis. Not great. Yeah, St. Louis is definitely just getting smacked around now. Going to the Avalanche Knights game in Denver, my two favorite teams, and I'm happy no matter the result. Nice, nice. Yeah, born in England, but of Ghanaian origin. Okay. I knew that. I'm just saying, does he play for England or does he play? I think Nketiah plays for England, right? But he didn't get called up, so. And he probably even wouldn't, even if there was an injury. My guess. St. Louis got a team, yes. MLS starts next year for St. Louis City. How much do you think the 2026 World Cup will make football grow in the U.S. and Canada? A lot. It's already growing just because they're getting it. When the World Cup actually gets closer and closer, it's going to be a freaking moment. A lot more people will be fans than you would expect. But the sport's already growing just because they have it. So, cross in cleared. Next stream tomorrow morning. Less than 12 hours away. 7:35. Canada, Japan. Because of course, I hope Canada wins. They need to win after what they did against Bahrain, or at least have a fighting draw. But I do also like Japan. You know what you know if you've been here. So it's sort of a both sides situation. Could be. Of course, Canada over Japan, but I wouldn't be completely mad unless they just blow it. 5:45 for me. That's bright and early. It is. My bedtime's in an hour, 7:21 right now, and yeah, mountain time. At least you'll be able to finish this match. See, it's 5 a.m. here in Doha, about to head into a meeting at the office. Good luck. Hopefully it goes well. And I'll see you later today. And I think Japan playing Canada in Qatar. That's yeah. Funnily enough, we don't have a match that early during the World Cup. Even if they move forward, they won't. But no, we had to get screwed at least once. $9.40 isn't even that bad. Like the Bahrain game wasn't even that bad, but there had to be one that was egregious. Had to be one that was egregious. Well, there you go. At least it was a friendly. But the one I want to watch the most. Well, okay, that's a little bit. Nicolas Loam for Lunev, we knew about that. Yeah. Exactly. 57th minute. Luckily, the ones I cover are just like 10 and 1, so I'll be up earlier to watch. The 4 a.m. games are pretty much off the table, but the good thing about Tubi, you can watch replays. So after, I can at least watch the replays if I miss the early games. That's a good thing. Tubi TV, free. Just go on there and watch. You just watch the replays. So the earlier games, there you go. Boom. If need be. I'll watch them some way. Don't worry. Like 64 out of 64 live, not happening. 64 out of 64 with replays, yes. Not too bad. Not too bad. The only ones I'm covering are the ones I can watch live, of course, until we get to. But at least I know what I'm talking about the ones that aren't. Russia wasn't too bad. 2018 wasn't too bad of a time split. Hell, 2019's Women's World Cup wasn't that bad of a time split. Now, on the other hand, 2023's Women's World Cup is going to be way worse because Australia is basically a day ahead. Exactly. We cook early. On my side of things, we cook early on Thanksgiving anyway. We start cooking at like 6. So. Okay, no, maybe a little bit later, but sometimes we used to cook a bit earlier, but about 7, 8, it really starts. Still got to prep, but, you know, I'm sure a little bit more of the prep will be done before. I'm sure sometimes that happened. I'm sure, but the way things are right now, I'm sure. But any news on Ali Mousset staying at Calgary or moving? I haven't heard anything. I'm sure he'll stay with Calgary, as far as I know, but I haven't heard anything. 60th minute, 3-0. Probably 2 a.m. Probably. I'm sure when it comes to that, it's more just watching CONCACAF teams, or at least USA and Canada, but may make it a little bit more, even if I do cover it. Leaning towards yes. But more just CONCACAF instead of just everything. Oh, Juan Cousin's coming on. Nice. I didn't even see him on the frickin' lineup thing. I thought he was gone. Juan Cousin coming on for STL. Ezra Armstrong and Perez. Perez is coming on. Miguel Perez for Edouard Leuven. 60th minute. Juan Cousin is on for Jensen. And Ezra Armstrong on for Selmier Pedro, who's on a yellow anyway. Not that it matters. It's a friendly, but still don't want to go down a man for 30 minutes. Especially against a Bundesliga team. That would just look bad. Juan Cousin against Isaac Jensen. 61st minute. Well, I told you, it's basically 12 hours. Or 24 hours ahead, I should say. Like, they're 2 o'clock p.m. is our 2 a.m., so on and so forth. I remember Canada played a game in Australia. It was on ESPN Plus, and it was like 12 Central. So they were playing at 12 o'clock. Handball, but that was natural position. Goal kick. That was not fun. I was watching it, though. Thoughts on Nkunku being injured for the World Cup? A huge loss for World Cup quality player. It sucks. Nkunku was probably one of the better midfielders on France. I think it's a problem that he's hurt. Definitely means that the midfield is definitely going to be what? Kamavinga and Deschamps' favorite. The midfield's definitely weaker because Deschamps will definitely use his favorite player, and it's not going to be fun. Here comes the champion's curse, probably. Yeah, that's what I figured. How on earth could you beat Japan? Besides, they got called up most team. They'll be World Cup, but I got a bad feeling. But Canada's World Cup team is there too. So it'll be fun. We'll find out. How do you think the British media will react to Pulisic scores a leading goal or winning goal against England next week and lifts up a shirt to show descendants it's called soccer and then does the teacup celebration? Now that's going to piss people off. Now that is overkill, and that's why it's going to piss people off. Now, would it be hilarious for the CONCACAF side of the world? Yes, definitely. Is it going to be overkill over in Europe, though? Yes. Yeah, I've been calling it too. I'm actually going to stick with it. For a while, I was like, you know what? Maybe Australia is not good enough. But now that Nkunku's out, and it's going to be Deschamps' favorite midfield, which is honestly the biggest problem. Yeah, no. The champion's curse will find a way to get them. It'll find a way. So I was calling it, then I was like a little bit trepidatious, but now I'm definitely back on the side of where I was 4 months ago. They haven't been great during friendly, so. Denmark, Australia, top 2. I'm sticking with it. I was trepidatious for a bit, but now I'm sticking with it. But even then, I never pulled off of it. Only thing I'm really different about is that Spain is probably the European team that crashes out of Group E. It's probably going to be now Germany, Japan. Now that I've seen what Spain has and see what Germany has, and the fact that Germany does have the better squad, I'll swap that. But that's the only thing that I was starting to get trepidatious about. 65th minute. So France is a bad defense. So if they score, they'll concede twice as hard, and the egos are clashing right now. Yep, exactly. Previous France teams have had egos clashing as a killer. And the worst part about it is they kept Deschamps, which is stupid. Deschamps is a horrible coach now. Honestly, I don't even think he was the reason why they won the World Cup. I think they won in spite of him. But Zidane should have been coaching right now. I guess they're giving Deschamps a chance to repeat, but that's probably the stupidest thing they could have done. Agreed. Imagine Mexico get crushed in the group of death. But they're not in the group of death. 3-0 Bayer Leverkusen. ESPN Plus. And if you don't have that, which I think you do, Buffstream.1. But ESPN Plus has it. But it's pretty much over at this point. Like, I'm proud of St. Louis being good for like 30 minutes. That might be, but I'm not going to complain about it. I'm just going to enjoy the ride, especially if it's Canada. But it is what it is. I'll just enjoy the ride. The 67th minute. France's counterattack system is easy to game plan against, even with Benzema in the fold. Counterpress the shit out of France and you'll get it back. Exactly. That's what happened at the Euros. That's what happened at the Euros. Even Bobby Bacala could beat France. Second team. My second favorite. Yeah. Just like everything else. But not main. But second. But I would want him to do good. Cousin. Still on the ball. St. Louis has not done better since they put on these. I guess they kind of have, but not as good as they started. I could say that much. 68th minute. Me too. $20 minutes to go, plus stoppage time, if there is any. St. Louis hasn't been completely horrible, but they're definitely being outclassed, but that was sort of expected. Exactly. That's what I said earlier. That's exactly what I said earlier. Now, I get why they did it, because Bayer has red kits and you're going against with pink kits. It's probably not going to work well. You could have easily worn the white shorts with the pink kits, and it probably wouldn't have been bad. But either Bayer could have worn their change kit, but they didn't. I mean, wearing a white kit, they kind of deserve to lose. I may actually just say it, just to say it. Hudson-Odoi plays it on. Poland scraped past Chile today. Yeah, that is a problem for Poland. Did Karol Swiderski play? I wonder if that does anything. I mean, I'm sure they did, but it's St. Louis sticking to the fact it's technically St. Louis City 2 playing this game, but it isn't really. But the perfect thing would have been is open your stadium with your new home kits on that you put out today, which they're nice. They're amazing. And you don't do that? Like, that's horrible marketing. I don't know who's in the boardroom saying, no, we should wear our STL2 kits when they're boring as all hell. The white kit is boring. The gray kit's a little bit better, but not really. They were boring. And I get making the STL2 kits boring this year because you didn't want to tip your hand, which the thing about MLS Next Pro 2-team kits is they're very similar to their main team's kit, but they're not exactly the same. Some of them are not exactly the same, but they're very similar. I know they didn't want to tip their hand. But come on now. Maybe they don't have enough authentic kits to actually wear. I don't know. It just feels like a missed opportunity. I'm sure they have enough authentics. If they sold the kits today, I'm sure they had enough authentics to keep 11 around or 18 around and press down the names. Hell, even if they wanted to use the MLS Next Pro numbering on that jersey, that's fine. Yeah, Cristiano Ronaldo is better than Messi. Cristiano Ronaldo. '71st minute. '72nd minute. And by the way, Ronaldo is absolutely on the money in his interview with Piers Morgan. Now, I don't know why you're doing an interview with Piers Morgan, but he's on the money. Shot! Oh, what a save! again, Cristiano's right on the money. He's on the money. He's in the right. He's on the money. Simple as. I still think Piers Morgan is a hatchet man. But again, it's a good interview. I still think Piers Morgan is a hatchet man, but everybody in the mainstream media is a hatchet man. So, I mean, or a hatchet woman, but you get the point. You get the point. Piers Morgan's a hatchet man. Cuomo's a hatchet man. You get the point. Joe Scarborough's a hatchet man. Yeah, I'm not surprised he did that. Now, okay, no, I do. I'm happy I'm calling him a hatchet man. The point is, Mbappe, Neymar, it's passed him by. Ball crossed in. 73rd minute. Oh, Cenk Uyghur's a hatchet man. Oh, did I forget about that? Cenk Uyghur's a hatchet man. Hassan Piker's a hatchet man. Now we'll stop there. We'll stop there. Big up to Eddie McJenkins. Eddie. Hope I'm saying that right. McJenkins. Big ups. Yeah, big ups to you. How you doing? Welcome. Another great save. 73rd minute. The world would explode. Okay, no, but how does Bale get there? But seriously though, how does Bale get there? No. Yeah, Ronaldo's going to win his group. Yeah, that's a good save. That's the backup keeper, I would guess. Another 3 subs. No, it was just the 5 subs being default on there, I guess. Another 3 subs for St. Louis. Palazzolo, Glover. 74th minute. Benderosa's off. 74th minute. Caden Glover's on for Thomas Ostrak. Yeah, now they're just giving up. Aaron Hurd is on for Celio Pompeu. And Palazzolo is on as well. Yeah, they're just giving up at this point. Alex Palazzolo on for Benderosa. Yes, I do. I can't wait to see Canada. Like, the one thing I'm looking forward to is seeing Canada on 4-4-2s. That's the one thing I'm looking forward to. He probably has none of them drawn yet. Except Davies he would have drawn because of Bayern, but yeah, I agree. It's nice that St. Louis already has a fully functioning academy and reserve team. Probably already a better development system than the Timbers, Dynamo, and a few others. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Yeah, I think it's a good thing that St. Louis already has an academy and reserve team set up. I think it's a good thing. It only could help the team do better. And I think that's why St. Louis is going to have a pretty good first season. Because they already have a setup. It's not like they build the first team up first, then build everything else. They did it the opposite way, and I think that's a smart decision. And St. Louis is already a good football city. They already had St. Louis SLSG. They already had St. Louis FC. They already have this. They already have this infrastructure already. So it's easy to sort of turn it. But even then, it's easier to turn it. But even then, St. Louis is a perfect city to give an MLS team to because, again, they already had the infrastructure. But St. Louis City was smart enough to make that infrastructure their own. So, besides, I think one of the owners of St. Louis City also owned STL FC. So it sort of has that connection. Here's a play forward. I at least want to see St. Louis score a goal. That would be nice. Agreed. I heard that Sadio Mane will be unavailable for at least 2 of Senegal's World Cup games. But at least he's there. I still think Senegal gets through that group. I still think they do. Even without him, I don't think that's the problem. If he's there for the knockout stages, I think that's what they expect. They got to play a lot better, or they got to play a lot more perfectly, but I think they get out of the group. I think Netherlands first, Senegal second, still Ecuador third, still Qatar fourth. But at least now with Sadio Mane being hurt, at least there's the believability of Qatar somehow getting through if the refs helped. 77th minute, 3-0, probably. Only thing I don't like about the team so far is their name. City is stupid, and I thought they wouldn't choose the traditional bland naming. I definitely think there should have been some more St. Louis to it, but you can't call them the Arches. Like, I mean, they have the arch in their branding, but you can't just call the team St. Louis Arches. Like, you kind of had to go that way. I mean, could you have done something more St. Louis-y? Yes. I think Arches is a stupid. That's the only thing I can really think of. I think Arches, that's kind of the biggest St. Louis thing. It's not the Blues or the Cardinals. You can't bring back Rams for a soccer team. So it'd be funny, but again, you can't do that. Billikens is slow. You can't call a team the Toasted Ravs. That's just, no. Or the Gooey Butter Cakes. I mean, you kind of had to go city and have like an arch is a big part of the imagery, but not. I understand where you're going, but I also know you kind of had to go this way. As far as I know, no. I haven't heard any. Edin Dzeko plays over the bar. Edin Dzeko. Ugh. Damn it. I know I think I know 3, but it's just Edin Dzeko. I know Edin Dzeko. I got a brain fart, sadly. Agreed. Except probably not in the World Cup. Arch City FC. Okay, that would have been. Now, if you say it like that, that's better. But that's better. But that's better. Still wouldn't know. It's a fine line between being corny named and well named, but the City FC Uniteds are getting old. I get what you're saying. Milo Ray is one, but is he on the main team yet? Let's see what he does. It's all about what about now. How many players has the Portland Academy put through now? I mean, Hunter Solta, I mean, you could say, but 80th minute. As I said, like I could put my finger on it, but the only one. Edin Dzeko is the only one who's fully crossed my mind. There we go. Yeah, but could be the best. 81st minute. 3-0. 9 more minutes plus stoppage time. Oh. Harris Madunjanin. Oh, he's Bosnian? That's not where I was going, but okay. Okay, well, there's 2. Thanks for the layup. Edin Dzeko, Harris Madunjanin. I didn't think he was Bosnian. Okay. Interesting. Now that's just cold. I will admit, posting a picture of Jordan Huddama posting a picture of her and Julio Rodriguez on Alfonso's birthday. Now that's cold. That's cold. I will say that much. but I'm not going to down any of them. Miralem Pjanic, Bosnian. Now that I could have figured, yeah. Cross in over the bar. Now, other than that, Julio Rodriguez seems cool. I'm not surprised. Jordan Hanema plays in Seattle. Julio Rodriguez plays in Seattle. That doesn't surprise me. But both very young players. I mean, I'm happy for them. I'm not going to be one of those. What's the word? But again, if they're happy, good. And I hope they are. Now, is it a little bit dark that she posted a picture of them on Alfonso's birthday? Yes, but I'm also not really surprised about that. You know, I have absolutely no idea, and I'm not going to speculate because that would just be wrong. I'm not going to speculate. Oh yeah, people were. People were. Is it a bit toxic? Yeah, but when you open yourself up to that, you open yourself up to that. But I do understand how people are saying that's a bit toxic. I understand that as well. You ever seen honestly, if it's the best play ever seen a bicycle kick scored on, Jimmy Chara versus LAFC back in March, early March. Yeah, the Jimmy Chara bicycle kick versus LAFC. That was the best one I've seen. I know Ronaldo scored one against Juventus. Jimmy Chara scoring 2 bicycle kicks 2 weeks in a row was badass, but that LAFC one was amazing, to be honest. Nobody else saw it but Portland fans, MLSers, and fans and all that, but that was awesome. Also was live for that one. But again, I found out LeBron left Coke for Pepsi last year, so we'll never see the Sprite Cranberry commercials air on TV again. Oh, that sucked. Vasilij, Dedic, Srbicic, Kovacevic, Milicevic, Civic, Sadic, Simrot. Remember their name part of Bosnia. Happy to hear that. But again, 85th minute, 3-0. Juan Kuzain, cross! Blocked away. And you could have got back there. Well, that's good to know that Alfonso confirmed it wasn't cheating. Name 5 Man United players, so that's easier. Alejandro Garnacho, Cristiano Ronaldo, Rafael Varane, David De Gea, and Christian Eriksen. There we go. Exactly. Yeah, that's true. I'm not even a LeBron fan, and I'll give that one to him. It's like if they got Albert Pujols to do a commercial for any random soda. Well, not anymore. I mean, he's retired. But then again, they did make Albert Pujols cereal right after he retired. Probably just a St. Louis thing, but what can Corey Burke bring to the New York Red Bulls? Actual good striker. Being an actual good striker, that's what. Actually scoring goals. 86th minute, 3-0. 86th minute. I can tell you for sure Toronto won't be there. I can tell you that right now. I'm not predicting them to go to MLS Cup. No, I can tell you that right now. Honestly, Philadelphia, yeah, not today. Maybe on the weekend, but not today. Philadelphia, out of the East, I don't think Montreal will be that good again next year, but that's kind of by their design. Philadelphia, you know what? I'm going to go with the Philadelphia LAFC rematch, but this time at Subaru Park. That's where I'm going. That's what I'm going with. I'm sure as hell not predicting Toronto to go to the MLS Cup. Colorado, I knew that too. Which former TFC player would you bring back to TFC to change and revolutionize the way that TFC plays? I mean, I do want Pozuelo back, but that don't fit Bacala's system. Javinko is getting way too old. I'd love to see him play in red one more time, just to play in red one more time. Josie sucks. I mean, Beta Shore, we do need a left back. We do need an outside back now that Crescito's gone. I still like Steven Beta Shore. He's a free agent. I still like Beta. I don't know if that really changes anything, though. I think we're pretty much up the creek without the paddle. I don't think we could really bring back an old TFC player to change and revolutionize the way we play, except if we bring back Pozuelo, but that's about it. All of our other players are a bit too old. I don't want Soteldo back. Pablo Piatti, maybe? Lucas Hansen? Oh, there we go. Striker. Lucas Hansen. There we go. Lucas Hansen. There we go. Montreal's probably falling off a cliff next year. Definitely. And I'll love to see it. It'll be beautiful. It'll be beautiful. Yeah, I could see it. LAFC versus Philly might just be the new Seattle versus Toronto. I could see it. I mean, Portland could, but we need to see what they do in the offseason. Even if Toronto has a good offseason, I'm not predicting them to go to MLS Cup. I'm not going to do the same thing I did the past 2 years and like hype them up. No, I need to see them actually do something. If they make it, I'll be happy, but I'm not predicting it in March or even now. If they do, I'll be happy. But it's about the ride, not hyping up the team and then getting my heart broken. So let's see what happens. Who are TFC's nines? I saw they let Achara go. Yeah, they shouldn't have done that, but right now it's Jimenez, Akinola, Peruzza. Their top three strikers. And I think Akinola should be getting rid of too. I like Peruzza. Jimenez, I think he had the yips, but I think he'll be better next year. But a backup maybe, super sub. Qatar versus Ecuador. 3-0 Ecuador. USMNT versus Wales. 2-1 US. Gareth Bale does score, though. If I was comfortable with World Cup football like I am CONCACAF, I'd do parlays every day, but is Lewandowski better than Bukayo Saka? Yes. It's one of the... Okay. Yeah, no, Lewandowski's better. Those are solid nines. Jimenez had a few hot streaks this past year. Just desperately need better backline and keeper, and TFC's back to top 3 in the East. Yep. They're not... I hope they get it. I don't know if they will. And midfield. But even if they actually do, off-season, I'm not so sure. 91st minute. We're into stoppage time. Cleared. How much? And it's full time. 3-0. Bayer Leverkusen. 0-3, 3-0 Bayer Leverkusen at final, which is not too bad. Toronto. Yeah. Yes. Mexico, Poland, I think, is a RSR just, and Costa Rica, Spain, same day as Canada, so no. So 1 of 3, but I'll review the second one. So 1 review, 1 RSR, 1 review, or 1 live, 1 RSR, 1 no. So, of those three. With that being said, it's 3-0 Bayer Leverkusen full time. St. Louis fought. Could have been worse, but they do okay. Not great, but they do okay considering the power gap. But with that being said, I agree with that. Courtois. I agree with that. With that being said, if you like the stream, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once subscribed. Send super chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put this in play. Share with friends and family. All that great stuff. I will see you within the hour for this review of this match. And then less than 12 hours later for Japan versus Canada live in RSR. So with that being said, I'm Ron and I'm out. Peace. See you soon. Multiple see you soons. Peace.